Good afternoon, everyone. This is Bev from Art by Bedell, and you guessed it, we're back with another video for a process video in our Sunflower Dragonfly Junk Journal. Today I am making this hidden journaling spot, and it has 4 tags in it. And it is started with a piece of my digital collection here. This one is the one that I've chosen to use. Any one of them will work. And to start this project, I have taken my piece of paper and I have folded it. Well, no, to start with, I have taken off the white edges here and here, and then I inked up all around this side and then again on this side, and then I have taken my stamp with my Distress Oxide ink and inked it up and stamped all my journaling lines on here. So that is how I've started it. I folded it in half, gave it a good crease, and the next part we want to do this is to create our pocket on the bottom and the journaling on the top. So for the top pocket on the bottom, it can be the depth that you want it. I have chosen to do, let's see, 3 3/4 inches, the width of whatever page. This is an A4 size page. Of course, after the white borders cut off, it's a little bit smaller, but that's the page that I started out with. And this is printed on, my digital is printed on matte photo paper, and the paper is cardstock weight. Makes it a little heavier for this type of element that we're doing because it has some bulk to it. I inked up along the outside edges of my pocket also, again, using the same ink. Now what I want to do is to take my pocket and I am going to decorate it up. And to decorate it, I want to add some of my faux washi tape to it that I have made. I'll try to remember to link the video down below where I made this faux washi tape. I have a piece of lace I want to go all the way across. And I also have some drywall tape that I want to put across the bottom of this. So I'll measure that, and it comes to about here, and cut that off, and that will be the first thing I put on. Now, I am going to come below the top of my pocket. I'm not going to put everything right up to the edge of my pocket. I'm going to bring it down probably about maybe 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. I'm going to bring it down. The reason behind that is, now this drywall tape is self-adhesive. The reason behind that is when we put our paper on for the hidden journaling, we want to be able to tuck it inside this corner and this corner. Now, if we decorate it all the way up to the top, well, we could decorate it all the way up to the top, but when we go to attach it down, we need to start down here to attach it. So this is left open so that we can use that for a closure for our page that's going to go on top here. You'll see just what I'm talking about here in just a few minutes. We have this, and I think that's all I was going to put on this part here was now the lace, and then the faux washi tape, just like that. So now I will take my art glitter glue, and I'll run a stream of art glitter glue right along almost the top of my drywall tape. I guess if you're looking at the squares of the drywall tape, it's 2 squares down. That's not really that important. Just put it where you want it to be. What's very important is that we leave those 2 edges up to tuck our page down inside. So the next thing I'll do then is put some art glitter glue on my faux washi tape here. It is not self-adhesive. Get all that on there and put that right across the top of my lace, which leaves about, maybe 1/8 of an inch at this point of my digital print across the top here. I want to fold that in half just to get our crease on there, where it's going to sit on this page, like this. And now to glue it down, remember, I'm not going to start at the top. I'm going to come down about 3/4 to an inch. And what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of glue there and a little bit of glue on the other side. And then I'm going to sew this on with a machine. I do like to really sew my pockets on, especially a heavy pocket like this with a machine. It just makes it sturdier. So I will take that and I will sew that, and then I will be back to work on this some more. Okay, there we have it, guys. It's all stitched down, nice and secure. And the next thing I want to add here are a couple of quotes and some cheesecloth. So we'll cut this piece of cheesecloth in half. We'll take our art glitter glue and add a little bit randomly just to our part where we're going to put our quote on that will be over top of that cheesecloth. The glue will be underneath the cheesecloth. So there we go. We'll put that down, and I've already inked up around these. Where'd the other piece to our cheesecloth go? Right there. Put that down. Some glue on our quote. And there we have our pocket all done, just like that. Now we need to do our hidden journaling spot. So for the hidden journaling spot, I have chosen some of my coffee stain copy paper to make that out of. I'm going to fold it in half, and then I need to cut it to the size. So it will be about here that I need to take that much off the top of it, and I'm just going to use that straight edge, that paint straight edge that I have, and tear that off. And then we need some cut off the width also. So to cut off the width, we need about this much taken off. Now I want to also take my piece of copy paper, and I want to ink up the edges around the front and the back of this. There we go. The inside and the outside, front and back, however you choose to look at it. And then I'll unfold it. I just have it folded in half when I do it, when I can, because it makes it a little bit sturdier and it's a little bit easier to ink it up. And if it gets a few wrinkles in it, it's like, oh, well, it has a few wrinkles in it. Okay, so there's that. Now on the inside of this, you get this unfolded again and turn it back around. I want to put my journaling lines on. So I have my line stamp and my ink, and I'll start at the top, lining it up. And then I can line it up with those lines all the way down. Sometimes it's easier to start at the bottom, I guess. I can see it when I'm lining it up. And then I'll do that to the other side of this page too. This, on this end right here, cannot go down inside our pocket because then it just won't flip open and close very well. So what I want to do is I want to start at this end and make an angle down to the front of our paper. And so it'll be a little longer on this edge where I'm going to tuck it inside my pocket that will help keep it closed than what it is on this edge. So I'm going to take, and I'm just going to start here, and I'm going to cut a wedge, and just ever so much. It doesn't have to be too much. But when you open it up, you should be able to see that that is deeper, deeper up in than what this is down here. And so when I put it onto my page, I will lift up that corner just a little bit and slide that under, and that will keep this paper from flopping around, that and the tags that we're going to put in here. But it helps to create our hidden spot. So since I've cut that off, I need to re-ink it again. Now, before I attach that to my page, I want to decorate the outside of this a little bit. So you can do whatever, again, do you, whatever you want to do with yours as far as decorating it or not decorating it. I mean, the paper is pretty just the way it is. I choose to decorate it. And I'm going to use this is my deli paper that I had just rubbed off some ink and stuff on. And here's another piece. And this is some that I had, it's newsprint tissue paper that I had bought at Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to tear some of these pieces in keeping with the fall color. This is done with a jelly print here. And that one will go all the way across. So we only need one piece of that. And then let's get a little bit of the yellow on also. And again, that will go all the way across. And then we have some of this. Actually, I think I want to go sunflower down here and then a sunflower up here. Something like that. However you choose to set yours up will be absolutely perfect. And I'm going to put those pieces down with some matte medium. All right, so I'll start with the orange on the bottom. And I'll just take my matte medium and I'll cover this whole strip of the bottom here with it. And then I'll put this is deli paper. I don't think I got enough matte medium on. Oh, now maybe I have too much. Okay, so there we go. Okay, and then the next one I wanted to put on was the yellow, but I want to rip this edge. I want a torn edge across the bottom. I don't want a straight edge. And then we'll put some more matte medium on across the top of that. I just love the way the deli paper just melts right in with the page. And then I had decided to do this newsprint up here in this corner. I'll get that put on. And the other newsprint was going to be down here. Kind of a fast and easy way to get some color on your page. And I have a little bit of the design showing through. I'm gonna put this up here. I want that up there. The design on our coffee paper, and then I'm going to put this one down here in the corner. So I'll get this dry. I'm going to just run the heat over it for a few minutes until it's dry so that we can continue on with our process here. And that's probably about 95% dry. So then I'm going to fold this in half again. I'm going to neaten up my edge a little bit here. It's hanging over just a little bit. Let's get rid of this strip too. Then to attach it to our page, I want to put a little bit of the art glitter glue, and I'm putting mine on my right hand edge just to the right of the fold. There we go. Now I realize that in doing that, your page on the right will only fold. You'll see, I'll show you here. Okay, so I want to line this up. I want to be able to tuck that part down inside. So I'll adjust where this is all going to sit here, and then I can open it up, and then this side will fit down inside over here. Okay? How pretty is that with the blue and the yellow and all those nice bright colors? Now, and then as you see, you just can pull this out and it'll open up, and it's not going to go all the way over to the fold because of that glue we put on. So we're going to give it a little crease there, and that's where that page will end. It's like right there. And then to close it, tuck it back down inside. Pretty cute. There's all your hidden journaling room right there. Now we want to put some tags in our pockets too. So I have 2 different size tags that we're going to use in our journal. We have the big tag that has the sunflower on it, and then the little one that has just a random piece on it here. Let us start with the big tag. So to create the big tag, I've chosen a piece of my digital, and I want to make sure in width that it fits down inside my pocket here, which it does. For height, you can have it be as tall as your page if you want. Mine is 3.5, almost a little bit more, by 6.5. And I have inked up around the edge, and I put my lines on the back. I want to do the layering on my card first, some little bit of collage down the side of my card. So I have some, this is dictionary paper. And I'm going to use a glue stick, my Yoo-Hoo glue stick. Get everything back up here in frame so you can see again. And just apply my glue to it. And put it on the right-hand side of my tag, just like that. And then the next thing I have to put on there, a piece of my coffee stain copy paper. I don't want it that long. I'll take that down. Go ink up around the edge of it. And this is just the piece I cut off that insert that we put on our page that we tore off to make it the right width. And we're just going to use it up. Go and put that on here, like right about there. And then I have some lace I want to put on here, and we'll put that on with our glitter glue. And I'm going to come down about halfway, well, maybe even just maybe a 1/4 of an inch to a 1/2 inch in from the edge of the coffee stain paper to put my glue that will hold my lace on. And then I'll take my lace and put that on top of that. Like that. I'll give that a minute or 2 to dry. And then I want to run some stitching with the machine down along that whole edge there. Oh, and I forgot my drywall tape I was going to put on there. Let me see, I think I can probably lift this up and put it in right here. There we go. Yep, that worked. So there's a piece of drywall tape too. So I'm going to go do a stitch down through there, and then I'll be back and we'll get our flower put on here. Lay this paper underneath because we're going to work with some paint. So I have a stencil with a sunflower on it. We need a palette for our paint. This stencil was one that I got off Amazon. And what we're going to do is we are going to apply our paint right over top of our lace. Everything that we have here, we're going to put the paint right over top of it. So I position my stencil where I want it, right about there. Get a little bit of whatever kind of cheap craft acrylic paint that you have. And I'm going to use my brush for just this part and pick up a little bit of paint and scrub it on. take it off, and there we have our sunflower. Now, when I first did this, the very first time, it was a shock to me because I did it, I pulled it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that ever ugly? I hated it, and I'm like, what did I do? I ruined that whole tag. So what I did was I just left it aside, and let it dry, and then proceeded on to see where it took me from here. So what we're going to do is we are going to let this dry, and we have another tag that we're going to make for the bottom, the smaller tag. We're going to make that while this is drying, and then we will be back to this. Don't be alarmed if your paint is splotchy, if it's run together, if you just don't like the color that you chose, because we're not done yet. So I will be back. The size we have for our smaller tag is, it is 3 inches by almost 4. And I have inked up around the outside and put my journaling space on. For this one, I want to add kind of the same elements to it. I have, instead of dictionary paper, I just have some print here from some miscellaneous ephemera that I have. You can use any print that you like, dictionary paper, book paper, ephemera pieces that you've torn down. And I want to keep, let's see, do I want more blue? I want to keep that yellow stripe showing. So I'm going to turn it this direction. And then I have a little bit of the tissue paper, and I will put that down. And then again, I want to add some lace on this. So I will use my art glitter glue, put a little bit of glue on here. You have to take the cap off the lid of the glue in order for it to come out. I've discovered that. And put this down where I want it. And then I am going to do the same thing. I'm going to go and I'm going to do a zigzag straight line right down through there. And I will be right back. For the focal point on this tag, I have another piece of one of my thumbnails that I had printed off of my art off another journal. And this just has, looks like maybe it has one of my dried flowers under a piece of vellum. But I'm going to glue that right on top of there, and that will be my focal piece on here. I'm really enjoying using up and having these printed thumbnails of my journal pages available to me, because that gives me like a whole new ply of pieces that I can use for collage and focal pieces. And I really just am liking that. So there we have that tag. Now, one for the tags I had done ahead of time. For a focal point, I have these labels that I put inside my journals that has Made by Art by Bedell. Well, this one didn't print off quite right, and so I cut it down and I used it for my focal point. And it's a piece of canvas with a little sunflower on it. I just think it looks really, really cute. So there we have our 2 small tags finished. Let's go back to the bigger blue tag now, and I'm going to heat that just a little. It's just a little bit wet, but I have to be careful not to melt my lace. All right, so what we want to do now is we want to take some Golden Light modeling paste. I really like this Golden Light modeling paste. It's just very fluffy and very easy to work with. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stencil. All right, I have the same flower that I put on last time, and I want to put it right over top of that flower. Once I get it right over top of that, then I want to slide it down about 1/8 of an inch. So you're going to see some of the card underneath showing through. I have some modeling paste on my spatula, and I'm going to apply the modeling paste over my stencil now. Okay, we're going to get underneath that, hold our paper down, pull off our stencil, and now you can see what I seen and where I decided, okay, this is really cool. Then this is what I wanted to do. I just didn't know about that blue after I put it on. I thought, oh, I don't know. But I'm feeling that this matches our journal really, really well. So this probably will take several hours to dry. This takes a little bit of while. And so I'm going to set that aside. But what I have is I have one of them that I had done ahead of time. So we can put our card down inside our pocket, our big card. And we can put our small card down inside our pocket. And then on the other side, we'll have to wait for the one that we made dry, but we can put this down in. And we have our page done. So if you see over here on this one, our prototype, how everything all comes together. And we have hidden journaling back there that is way cool. And here's the one that we did today. I hope that you have enjoyed this project. I hope that, to me, like a project like this, if I would see it in somebody else's journal, I would think, well, that's kind of pretty involved project there. But as you see, it's really, really not bad to do, to put together. Do it step by step. Take step by step at a time. Don't try to think in your head about the whole project. And then you'll see it's really, really not that difficult. So that'll fold up and that'll be a tall page in our journal. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining along. There's a playlist listed below. Etsy is listed below if you're interested in the digital kit. And make a couple of these projects for your own journal. You have a wonderful day today. Keep your face to the sunshine and have a very sunny day. I'll see you again soon. Bye now.